Air Commodore Ishfaq Elahi. Graphic images of starving children have intensified pressure on Australia's Prime Minister Albanese to move beyond 8 pledges, with calls rising to sanction Israel and recognize a Palestinian state. So, do you think it is practically, technically, politically and logically possible?
You are talking about the Australian scenario. I doubt if, you know, it will move to that much, but there is a pressure from the Australian people, especially in the academia. It is the pressure is there, but because of their alliance with the United States, especially members of the Quad and all, they won't take that much here. But what I want to, while I agree with Professor Imtiaz about the issues that he has raised, I fully agree that there is it's nothing but a genocide going on, and in fact, because there is nothing else to bomb there, they are bombing the population crowd, you see,
crowded
because
place.
there is nothing else to bomb. Everything has been destroyed. But having said that, there are 2 points I need to bring out. One is the silence of the Arab world. Totally. While we are talking about protests in Australia, protests in the United States, protests all across Europe, what about the Arab nations? We know that their people cannot come out without the, you know, they don't have any freedom of speech. So, they, you know, other than the government's permission, but the major countries like the Soviet, I mean this Saudi Arabia or Kuwait and you know, Qatar and Dubai, they are very quiet, and they are even Egypt, you see. So, that is one thing. And second thing is that while this is going on, what about the peace initiative? You see, the whole thing is, I feel that there are 50 plus hostages are still there. If somehow or other they are released, then there will be absolutely no you know, reason for Israel to continue. So, while we also urge upon the Israelis to stop bombing, I think there should be a process of negotiation that is to you know, with the Hamas to release this, and the pressure on Hamas also to release this 50 plus hostages, because they are not gaining anything by keeping these hostages over there. They are not achieving any, I don't think they are achieving any tactical or strategic you know, advantage. Rather the people of Gaza, they are suffering, and the whole Palestinian issue is also going backward. The Gaza's tragedy is coming forward. So, I think there should be these 2 issues should be you know, looked into,
addressed into the international forums. How come this is possible? What is going on between 2 countries, and money is making by other countries?
No, what Professor Imtiaz meant is that because of the debt servicing that is increasing, the Ukraine, not physically, but Ukraine financially will remain indebted to United States for a long time to come, unless there is something else. But thing is that everybody wants the war to end. The war, by you know, it started because of the NATO's expansion to the east, and the, you see, the United States, Soviet Union, the Russia felt threatened, because there was a time the Russia drew the red line that no more expansion towards the east, whereas they wanted an assurance from Ukraine that, and the NATO, that the Ukraine will not be joining NATO and the expansion will end, because NATO, Russia by for generations they are threatened by their defense is their depth, you know, and if the depth reduces and the border comes closer to Moscow, they feel that they will be overwhelmed. And this has happened in Hitler's time, this has happened with Napoleon, and long past in the Mongols and the Huns and everything. So, this war was started because of this Ukrainian position and the NATO's position of, yeah. So, I think that how it can end is that there will be an agreement that there will be no further expansion of NATO. Ukraine will remain a neutral state and sort of at least not anti-Russian, and probably the border, there has to be some adjustment of the border. And most people are saying that the eastern part of Ukraine, which is mostly Russian you know, speaking people, there have to be some sort of adjustment, either autonomy or maybe with the Russian. And of course, the peninsula that was traditionally part of Russia will remain there. And what I find is that, I mean, also the miscalculation. Putin, there must not, the solution must appear to be that both sides are winners, or not, at least not as serious losers. Because if Putin is shown that he is a loser, then he will lose his seat there. And same thing, that if West and the NATO is supposed to be loser, then the question will come that what about the next? Maybe the Romania, maybe will there be a pressure on Poland to get back to the EU, to get out of NATO. So that must not happen. And also, sir, if you agree with me that the sovereignty, strong or weak, whatever it is, we have agreed more or less the sovereignty of the state must be maintained there, territorial integrity. So that is to be, if we compromise in one issue, the question comes, will there be a compromise on other countries or other issues? So we also, the pressure on, as the Ukraine is indebted, in fact the Russia is also heavily, you see, they have been thrown back as far as the economy and the social structure is concerned. As an example, I can tell you that they are in so much of shortage of manpower that now they are recruiting from countries like Bangladesh to go and
which is called mercenaries.
Mercenaries, you see, and poor chaps, you see, because they don't know what they are going into, and they are dying, and their bodies are coming back to Bangladesh. This also shows the desperation. Such a big nation, but running short of manpower, nobody wants to join. And especially those who are the elites of Russia. Putin's power base is not Russian people, but it is the, what do they call terminology? Oligarch. Their children have left Russia. They are maybe studying or living in Western world. So first they started with the the Kazakhs and the Turkmens and other small minorities, and now they are recruiting from North Korea, and they have also recruited from some African countries and including Bangladesh.
Sir,
this is a very sad state for the country that we have seen in the Soviet Union. You see, it had a huge, you see, in the 70s we were trained there. It had a huge dream for the underprivileged world, you see.